A lovely good morning, our dear viewers. We apologize for bringing the program slightly later. This was due to technical circumstances beyond our control. However, we proceed with the breakfast show. I'm your usual host, Patrick Soko, and as usual, we have a fully packed program. And to just get started, we'll go straight into the morning boost. Keep it on Camnet.
Hello guys, it's Harrison, aka the Fitness Puppy, here at Cho's Fitness Gym in Kablonga. So today guys, I'm going to show you a shoulder tap. So some of you may be asking, what's a shoulder tap? Okay, we go. So you stand here, that's the edge from the mat here, then you crawl. You crawl until your body becomes straight. Then you start tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that was 1. So I would like to tell you why the shoulder taps works on. So the shoulder taps, it's actually in form of a plank. So it works on your abs as well as your shoulder and your arms. So I'm going to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. So the shoulder taps, like I said earlier on, its sprint target is on the abs. So some of you may call it transverse abdominals. That's a 6-pack, of course. And also the obliques, which is the sides of your waist. That's where the shoulder taps works on. Let me go for the last one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed that clip. Remember, you can also watch it later after the show. Okay, you've been with me, Harrison, aka the Fitness Puppy. Remember, we are here at Cho's Fitness Gym. Remember, you can also get your fitness attire here. We have news talk in the view. Bye bye. Keep up watching Camnet TV, not any other channel.
Well, there you have it. That was the morning booster with the Fitness Puppy. And without wasting any much of the time, we'll go straight into our next segment, which is at the Health Corner with Dr. Mufaya. Keep it on Camnet.
Hi, good morning and welcome to the Health Corner here on the Breakfast Show. I am Dr. Nakubiana Mufaya. So this week we are talking about a rare disease that is also found among us, and this is rickets. Yesterday we talked about some of the causes of rickets. For those that are watching for the first time, we say that rickets is a condition where there is softening and weakening of the bones due to lack of vitamin D. So it's caused by a lack of vitamin D, mostly because the diet lacks vitamin D. And also other risk factors include not introducing or not putting your child in the sun to get sun exposure, because that is the only way our bodies can make vitamin D. There are some other causes as well that are genetic, and the child can inherit a certain genetic condition where they cannot absorb calcium from the intestines, and so they lack the calcium to make the bones strong. Also, there are other conditions that can lead to calcium not being absorbed properly from the intestines, and these are inflammatory bowel disease, a condition that affects the intestines, and also celiac disease. So today we'll talk about some of the signs and symptoms of rickets. How can you know that your child is having rickets, or what are you able to see in the child if you suspect that your child has rickets? So usually the most important thing that you'll be able to see is that they would have delayed growth. So they would not be growing at the normal rate as everybody else. They have stunted growth, and so they are not growing as much as children that are their age. The other thing that you'll be able to notice is that they would have bone deformities. And so most of their bones will be curved. They would have curved bones in the legs. They would have curved bones, even in the arms as well. And you'll be able to see this curve visibly even just by looking at the child. And they would also have what we call thickening of the ankles. And so if you check the child's ankles or the wrist, you find that it's bigger than it's supposed to be, and there's thickening in that area. The child might also experience pain in these bones, and so they might be complaining of pain. They are feeling pain in the bones because of lack of calcium in the bones. Then they might also have other symptoms. So they might also experience what we call seizures. And so because of the lack of calcium in the body, they might have seizures as well, and this might lead to them even being admitted in the hospital because of the seizures that they might have had. And so these are some of the symptoms of a child who has rickets. And if you notice any of these symptoms, you need to be able to take this child quickly to the hospital to be able to receive treatment, because it can be life-threatening if it continues for a long time, and there are so many dynamics in the body that take place, and so there are other hormones that come into play to be able to help the child, and so you need to be able to take the child quickly to the hospital to receive treatment. So this is what we're talking about today. We learned that rickets can have symptoms such as bone deformities and also delayed growth. So they would have delayed growth, they would also have bone deformities, and you'll be able to see these bone deformities visibly just by looking at the child. And they might also complain of pain in the bones, and they may even have seizures if it is extreme in some cases. So these are some of the symptoms, and so I do hope you have learned something. If you are not able to watch these videos on the here on Camnet TV, make sure that you also check out my YouTube channel where I post these videos for you to be able to learn more about these conditions. And so my YouTube channel is Dr. Nakubiana Mufaya Siameka. Make sure that you follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure that you watch these videos and also share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You are watching the Camnet Breakfast Show, Wednesday edition, governance and policy, as well as politics, with me, Patrick Soko, and Shalon Kalimbula on the other chair.
Indeed, we are here and we've done 2 segments so far, Patrick. Exactly. And on set very soon, we'll be joined by our guests to have a fruitful conversation regarding issues of national importance. And I know obviously the viewer out there is wondering, I don't have my eyes today.
Yeah, you look strange. Yeah.
Actually, I can't even tell. I can't even look at myself. I can't even see myself. Rather.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking. I think I'll need somebody to take a picture of me and show me how I look.
Interesting. We'll do that for you.
Without my other pair of eyes.
Yeah, but we have to understand how the kwacha is performing, because we saw that it also contributed to yesterday's policy decision in terms of the increase of fuel
prices.
Yeah, so let's look at how the kwacha
is faring.
So the one British pound is buying at 23 kwacha 85 ngwe and selling at 24 kwacha 32 ngwe. $1 is buying at 19 kwacha 67 ngwe and selling at 20 kwacha 06 ngwe. The euro is buying at 20 kwacha 90 ngwe and selling at 21 kwacha 32 ngwe. And the South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha 07 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 09 ngwe. So those are your money market. You can see that the kwacha has continued to depreciate.
Is it at 20?
Yeah, it is on the selling part. It is on a 20 already. So on the buying part, if it also goes to the 20, we are in for it, because I remember you always talk about it. The waste we had was 23 kwacha against $1
yes.
And if the right interventions are not taken, we are likely to go that route. But for me, I don't even want to talk about that, because already the price of fuel
has increased. And you know, yesterday when I saw the statement of the same adjustment, I was like, you know what? I think Wakadundefika 50, then they should stop.
It's better.
It's better that way. They should just do it once and for all and say, okay, we're going to be buying a liter of fuel at maybe 50, and then we close the chapter.
Exactly. As opposed to just massaging people.
So people
with
adjust, and I mean, tough times are always there, and it's not easy. Even this 20-something or 30 is not an easy thing for most of us and most of the public. You know, I think we had a conversation the other time with one of the, it was a press briefing actually with Chance Kawai for the fertilizers company. He was asked a question to say, are we expecting the commodity prices of fertilizer to increase? You know, it's United Fertilizer something.
Yes.
One of the biggest, and they are starting to manufacture fertilizer here locally.
And their response.
And his response was like, definitely yes. The fertilizer prices will increase because of how the kwacha is faring, of how the things are moving, production costs, fuel prices increasing. Obviously, the production cost will go higher.
Exactly. I was also asking a company that deals with fertilizer just recently. You're saying you have distributed, but how much are you going to be selling a 25 kilogram bag? They said the prices will be detected later. We will be
for now, let's just settle with what we have. We distributed for this farming season. Like, when we reach the next farming season, we'll be able to determine.
And you know, and this is also a policy issue and also a political matter, in that it was among the campaign promises which the president alluded to in terms of ensuring that fertilizer is readily available and affordable for the majority farmers. But now the opposite is equally true, because the volatility of the currency has continued to push this commodity, which is for me, if we have that company, United Capital Fertilizer you're talking about, if they are able to manufacture locally, it is the government responsibility to make sure to say what is involved in their value chain in terms of production, so that they make it easier, so that they reduce the taxes and everything, and that the end product should be affordable to the farmers.
Exactly.
Unlike we cannot control, for example, the imports, where we are importing from, but we can control what we have locally, what is making it expensive. So we understand what they are injecting into the production process. We make it easier. That way we'll be able to sustain ourselves as a country. And yesterday we saw a 1 kwacha increase in terms of the fuel pump price, and already the prices for transport bus fares have already beyond the reach of many Zambians, it means more people are being dedicated to commuting or to working.
And February being a shorter month, I think the adjustment was just recently, Patrick.
Exactly.
And already we're talking about another adjustment. Hopefully people that are in the sector will think through, and government will try and help to cushion the whole situation. I think the interview we had last time with NDC leader, that is George Sichula,
yes.
I think he talked to us about the issue of starting to subsidize issues such as fuel and mealie meal. These are important commodities to Zambian community, and according to him, he said when we start subsidizing these, at least it will cushion the situation that people are going through in terms of failing to manage 3 meals that this administration promised the time that they were in opposition, because everything has just gone way beyond the reach of many people. You talk about mealie meal prices, it's been a story for weeks, you know.
However, everything comes against the backdrop that the workers' salaries have been stagnant for a long time. They've been constant. So you can imagine the survival mode. It is stressful.
It's people are surviving. They're not leaving.
You know, you see now people end up becoming motivational speakers because they have to just confront themselves.
Are you talking about
because of such analysis? But for now, we're going.
Before we go to those stories, Patrick, let's talk about the dry stories today, where President Hakainde Hichilema, with immediate effect, terminated the contract of Mr. Moya Lumumba, permanent secretary for the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development. The termination was pursuant to the provisions of Article 92, as read with Article 270 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. The President has since thanked Mr. Lumumba for his service rendered to the country and wished him well in his future endeavors. This is according to a statement issued by State House Chief Communications Specialist Clayson Hamasaka. You should press it. Yari position.
Yari position. Yaba Position Jere.
Position Yaba Anthony Wanya.
The position Yaba Anthony Mwamba. So let's also get to zoom in this story where we saw the concession agreement memorandum of understanding signing, where the Zambian government will have it done under a PPP arrangement. That's a public-private partnership model. So let's zoom in this story.
As we zoom in our guest.
Exactly.
The construction of the Ndola-Lusaka dual carriage was a controversial subject under the Patriotic Front administration, who wanted to finance the project at a cost of $1.2 billion United States dollars. At the time, many Zambians rejected the project because they felt it was overpriced. However, President Hakainde Hichilema's led government has opted for a public-private partnership model for the construction of the Lusaka-Ndola Road, including rehabilitation of Luanshya, Fisenga and Masangano Road in Central and the Copperbelt provinces. The event for the Memorandum of Understanding was attended by senior government officials, traditional leaders, and the business community, among other stakeholders. The concession agreement will see Macro Oceans Investment Limited construct the road at a cost of $577 million United States dollars, as opposed to $1.2 billion United States dollars.
Our hope that the financial negotiation will be concluded within the next 6 months, so that the project construction can be commenced. It is also our pleasure that we should ensure the smooth operation of the road while construction work are underway, and provide very good operation and maintenance service after the project is completed.
Finance Minister Stumbeko Msokotwane says the UPND government has done what the PF failed to do while in office by devising innovation to finance infrastructure projects.
You'll be hearing so many stories. For example, some will be saying, but why are they doing PPP road? Why didn't the government do it directly? Well, you are the ones, because the ones who will be saying these things are the very people who got this government, who got this country into deep debt.
Yeah.
They are the ones who went to collect debt all over the place. They left empty coffers. So if you left empty coffers, how how do you expect the government of the day to finance this? If anything, you should congratulate President Hakainde's government.
Minister of Housing and Infrastructure Development, Charles Melopi, says Zambia has gotten a better deal.
The government of the Republic of Zambia is desirous of promoting investment and the participation by the private sector in the development and maintenance of the transportation and the logistics infrastructure in the country. The demand for road infrastructure development in Zambia remains high, whilst the resource envelope is not adequate to bridge the financing gap for road construction, rehabilitation and maintenance works.
The construction works will take 3 years, and overall, Macro Oceans Investment Limited will be in charge of the road for 25 years, but government will have a stake on revenue. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Camnet Breakfast with me, Sharon Kalimbula and Patrick Soko. Right about now on set, we are joined by Leadership Movement President Dr. Richard Silumbe, and we will be discussing various issues of national importance. However, our topic of discussion this morning is analyzing President Hakainde Hichilema's address on the application of national values and principles. Like I mentioned earlier, we will delve into other issues as well. We will not restrict our conversation on this. However, you too can have yourselves join in the conversation by calling us or sending us those text messages. And let's get interactive here and talk to our guest this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be on Camnet TV.
Indeed. You man of few words. You're not saying hi to the people
and to the members.
Or you just taken that vow, because you're not a man of few words in actual sense, but it seems you've taken that vow.
Yeah, and I doubt.
We'll see
how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Right?
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
And to just get started, Dr. Silumbe, we'll start with the just ended the story we played as you were coming in. The story pertaining to the private partnership arrangement where that firm has to run that road for 25 years. And the UPND administration feels it is a success in that they have been able to do it under a concession agreement, as opposed to what the PF attempted to do by financing it through borrowed resources at a cost of 1.2 billion United States dollars. Now they're saying they're financing it at 577 million United States dollars. Your overall perspective on this project and your perspective as a political party?
First of all, we need to get ourselves clear as to which company is doing that. Is it a foreign company or is it a Zambian company? And also, we need to make sure that the government also has got something in it to control. Imagine if we said that we cannot run the roads and therefore we put them in private hands. Mm-hmm. The private sector, in that regard, they would privatize roads, they would privatize infrastructure that is supposed to be public, and in any case you will find that at the end of the day not many Zambians will be able to benefit. So we should not be encouraged to see government that loses grip on things that they are supposed to be taking care of. So such a move in a country like this would bring about some kind of restrictions to those, the haves and the have-nots. So that is why we are worried as leadership movement. We expect government to be responsible. There are limits to which government can participate in things and where it cannot participate. With regards to public infrastructure, we expect government to have a hand in it.
They were saying that they still have a stake, even though they're
not spending a dime towards this infrastructure.
There'll be part of the revenue that will be realized that through road touring. They'll have a say, a little bit of say in it, and that it is co-financed by NAPSA in terms of the contribution part of it.
Or also that the money will be realized in 25 years?
We wait and see, but as leadership movement, we do not see that this is a good way of running government infrastructure and government resources. This should be an opportunity for government to actually provide services to the Zambian people, and out of it, Zambians may be making a contribution, not contributions going to a private sector. Doesn't really make sense to us, and we expect government actually to be running some of these private infrastructure, because that is the first step for government to get revenue from the people and also to provide a service to the Zambian people. So such kind of some kind of giving up on infrastructure to foreign or rather private sector to the leadership movement, it seems like government is failing in all direction to deliver what they promised to the Zambian people, especially the New Dawn government. The New Dawn government has been just discovered to be a government that has got no direction, a government that is really weak and passive. We can use all kinds of descriptions to it. A puppet government, you can name them. A government that doesn't take responsibility. This is why we are seeing some of these concessions that really don't make sense, and they are not going to save the Zambian people to the way we want the Zambian people to be saved. Imagine you give a road to a private sector because they have injected so much money, and then now they put a price. Some of them will be charging according to the way they feel like, because they have spent much money on it. And if government starts to lose grip on such infrastructure, people will be abusing others. The haves and the have-nots, there will be that gap. And we will be allowing a situation where public infrastructure, which was once public, become private. Others cannot be allowed to go through those roads, and so on and so forth. So going towards that direction really is a sign that we have a government that is really erring, a government that has got serious problems, and we don't expect ourselves to be run like that.
Let's stay there a little, Mr. Silumbe, Dr. Silumbe rather. According to the UPND administration, we always refer, because equally themselves, they refer to the previous administration whenever they want to make reference. They said they inherited empty coffers and they need to develop the country. In your case, as leadership movement, given an opportunity to lead the wheels of this country, what would you have done? Wouldn't you have engaged the private sector to help you achieve what you want to achieve at the end of the term?
We want the private sector, for instance, to participate in development. Very important. But the idea that they should be using that as an excuse, who has ever inherited full coffers? Starting from independence, did Kenneth Kaunda inherit coffers from the white minority government? The answer is categorical no. Did Chiluba inherit full coffers when they got, when we had a change of government in 1991? The answer is categorical no. So this kind of excuse doesn't hold any water, and it shouldn't even be talked about, because any government that comes into power, what it inherits, they inherit a system that is money-making. Kenneth Kaunda inherited a money-making system, inherited lots of systems such as the taxation, ZRA, and he also got some of the mining companies that were running at that time. He inherited systems that produce, and rather they create resources. Chiluba also, when he came into power, he inherited a lot of companies. So it doesn't matter what the coffers have. The New Dawn government inherited ZRA that within 15 days after being in power, they got around 15 billion kwacha at ZRA. They inherited ZICTA. They inherited National Road Fund Agency that gets all the money from road, toll gates and all that. They inherited a lot of things. So for them to say, oh, we inherited empty coffers, they are not paying loans, they have not done anything. Where are they taking all that money? All the systems that create money, where are they taking the money? So that is an excuse that we cannot buy as leadership movement. We expect them to be working. We expect them to be productive. The first thing that leadership movement would be doing in such a situation is to ensure that we become productive as a country. This is why we talk about ZNS, a recruitment of 4 million young people, so that we can run ZNS state farms in every district. We can have ZNS run mines in every place where we have minerals, and we are going to put up a mineral reserve agency. The reason why the New Dawn government can't raise any money, cannot do anything, is because they are presiding on a country that has got so much resources. It has uranium, it has copper, it has gold, it has all these minerals. But what are they doing? They don't have any reserve. They don't have not even 1 kg of copper in a reserve. This is why you see the president is moving around, asking, kneeling down, asking for help, because he does not understand how to create resources. He is looking for green money, printed money from America, dollars, and yet these people are coming here. You are seeing the MOUs is signing, coming to get our minerals, because they know that if they give you $1 million US, out of our minerals, they are going to make so much money, more than what they have given you. So instead of you looking for money, running around looking for money, you should be looking at what God has actually blessed you with. God has blessed us with minerals. We as leadership movement, when we come into power, the first thing we are going to do is to give people land title deeds so that they can own their land. That is their asset. Number 2, we are going to recruit millions of young people into production. Number 3, we are going to have a mineral reserve agency so that we don't move around asking for money. When people are producing, we have ZNS run mines, we have minerals coming into mineral reserve agency. There are a lot of Jerabos, they have minerals. Many people are mining, but they cannot sell anywhere. In Zambia, they have to look for foreigners. If someone finds gold, he has to look for a foreigner or a Chinese to give that gold, instead of going to mineral reserve agency so that we can start growing reserves. If Jerabos have 50 kg of copper, what do? Copper concentrate. They go to Chinese. A Chinese will say, in this 50 kg there is nothing, I'll just give you 100 kwacha. We need a mineral reserve agency whereby government can be stockpiling these minerals, and we can have ZNS run minerals mines, so that these minerals are coming into mineral reserve agency. The way we have FRI, we should have this, so that when we go out there, we can be offloading 1 million metric tons on the market. We can be offloading 1 million metric tons of gold, of copper, uranium, you can name them. Right. And this country will be a force to reckon with.
Just hold your thought, we pick the scope. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
I'm quite much looking. I'm quite. I'm let to me na quiza. Ati? Okay, Bamfuliwa, please go ahead with your contribution. Mkwai. Okay. Okay, we picked your message. Mufulira, they are representing you too, can have your say on this conversation we're having this morning by calling us and texting us. Just make sure that you move away from your TV, go to another room and ask the children to record you in case you want to listen to yourself speak on TV.
Feedback is not good.
Feedback really kills us a little, but thank you so much for your efforts. You were saying something, or would you like to?
Let's proceed to another aspect of our interview, where now we look at these issues we're talking about were partly addressed by President Hakainde Hichilema when he addressed the National Assembly during the address on the application of national values and principles. Now, let's look at it. The President said that the country is making progress on upholding national values and principles, and they want the nation to be morally and ethical and embraces the value of hard working. Is that a true reflection?
What is happening on
in terms of how it feels there's progress, the aspect of hard working generally, and the moral fiber of this country? Is that a reflection on the ground?
When you look at
before you pick that, I think let's hear what our caller wants to say. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. I'm fine, much you can. Okay, Mr. Mwenya, go ahead.
Tule umfamu kwa hii. Konkanye nipu.
Tule umfamu mulela ndakoma. Ukule kirumu uwele mba. Mwanuka kiye wabomba. Uzo mtaji ye wabomba. Hii nono letenga mungu netu lalamu. Ndayaba niwe susha bibi. Ukulomba kwa jamu. Ukulanda kwa jamu. Anga mamulanga deni bale ngomba mzinki ye. Within 1 year, 6 months. Eso lo hago más bien,
okay. Thank you. We've picked your,
so you're not supposed to say anything?
So therefore kuwekesha aplikeni na lala ndamuchibe mbakairi pako bati bomfuikishe kanshi pano tuli ifyo tulelanda tatule bapoka ubufumu ba HH na ba New Dawn government benakti bapitirisha tatule bakanya iyo ifofo tulela ndako fyakwe bati tulefwaya abena Zambia baishi bako ifyo fimbyo fo twingachita pako bati ichalo chesu chala apantanshi kanshi ba New Dawn government ofo balelanda nofo balechita tapali winga bakanya patu mwali bapele ensambu mwali bapela amaka ifwe na ifwe tuleba bena Zambia pako bati bamonako the other side of doing things kanshi mwenga na musekela mwati umutengo wa fyo ule yafe pamuru chirifye bwino ngana musekela mwati ubunga bubitwali lirokula yafe pamuru chirifye bwino nishimwe ofa bwino lero kuli bale abambya bena Zambia abale muno kwebati ubunga techi bukonkanyepo kula pamuru ifo na ifo bena Zambia tufeto achitapo chimo ifitulera ndapo pantu imwe bana bakwa balinga mwalisekera mwe finto fo firenda na government yenu yabana mwelepete mulepitana fe nga government mulelombaisha fe nishi na musekera mwe fo fine lero kuli abena Zambia abalefo kuiperesha no kubomba chapamo pako bati twaba productive. That's why tulera ndapama state farms pakwa twalasa produce amata bayengi pakwa tubunga bwachipa mcharo twalasa na export ubunga bumbi kufyaro fimbi twalasa na dollars aya bakufyaro fimbi alasa mcharo cheso. That's why tulera ndapali ZNS run mines pakwa twalasa produce na ifwe umukuba wesu noti ifimwa ikala na ba New Dawn government ngabana mwelepete mwabula fyonse umukuba fyonse finto folesa tupera mwapera bamwisa mwalaye lombaisha feno kulombaisha ifwe na bena Zambia bambi turefu afwebele ture kwata motachi mumukuba wesu tuwakwata na Mineral Reserve Agency pakwe batinga tuwafuma kufya lofimbi tuwakwata nokulashitisha uyu mukuba otukwete ifiture umfati ba United Kingdom bali kwata the biggest gold reserve lelo mu United Kingdom tamwaba nango chimo tabakwata mine nango imo nangulo mu god wa god but bali kwata gold reserve if we tulachita produce since 1900 tulachita produce copper lero copper tuchita produce tatwa kwata nangu butala nangu bumo wakwatumwa kwata kona ni 1 kg ya copper nishi chalo chashana ifyo tulera ndapo kwa ati tufire twachinja imikalire yesu twala kwata ma reserves mu chalo chesu pakwe bati instead yakula pitana fyo kula lombaisha tufire twalaya tuleshitisha copper twalikwata ma reserves twalekera na abantu.
Well, someone wants to still interact with you.
All right.
So we allow them the leverage. Let's get this call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Rahman Gogo. I'm calling from Goa.
All right.
Mr. Zulu, you can go ahead.
Yes, I like certain things the president for the youth movement is speaking about. But we as youth, as I said into leadership, we needed to change the mindset and the way we think about improving this country. Yes, my friend is talking about the ZNS. ZNS is a strategic government that was formed to do mostly those that KK was to do agriculture and security. But that national service can use like this to run the mine. If you look at the Mandela project that's been given to national service, there are a lot of things that national service can do for this country. There are a number of farms like we are saying. Zambia is politically located with countries like Congo, Kenya, and Tanzania that are trying to hire maize and other things from this country. But we haven't implemented the agricultural policy for this country. Yes, came into power, it was to open the border, but it did not look at the results of maize that we had. Still, we have gone back to the same colonial issue of smuggling. They are saying smuggling. There shouldn't be smuggling in the country. People should be encouraged to go there and have cooperatives buying and exporting men. That will that created a lot of employment for the persons in Shambombo, in Pita, in Imba, which means one with the mind. Those are issues that we're supposed to look at as a new leadership, the young people that are thinking beyond what these other leaders are thinking now. Because the moment that they start to produce local and export, then what that running the donors for every little thing that we want to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Zulu,
so much,
for your perspective.
for representing. You too can have your say on this important conversation. Dr. Silombe, there's a word that you keep referring to in Bemba. I want you to explain to me what it means.
People who are not working, yes. Abantu ababunangani ebana mwerepete government tukwete pali nosta kachi twatotera bazuru ofomulera ndapo panto ofo tulanda polionse okwebati teti mulekanya mwalibula bazedenes mwabika mu maboda umuntu umwine achita producer amataba walikwata kafamu wasa produce 50 bags of maize ulefo kuyasha ku Congo ta ulefo kusha pali 150 kwacha 150 kwacha ku FRA ulefo kuyasha ku Congo pali 500 kwacha pe bag baya kukanya tawe taufire okushitisha no mbanika ni support ama private sector yasha ni tukwete muli ba new dawn government. That's why for to seka pe pamonga ba leadership movement ngatwe umfa to know we are encouraging business no ba farmer tete ashitisha mataba yakwe ku Congo pantu tamulefu ato kwala ba problem ya food security buna mwelepete wa government instead of working hard. This is why leadership movement wants the government to be productive. We are going to have ZNS state farms in every district and we are going to allow any farmer. That's why under the leadership movement there will be FRA will be getting maize from ZNS and those farmers who want to sell to FRA, its business will be to provide transport. FRA ikakwata matraki pakwe bati nga wachita produce 1000 bags of maize instead yaku yashitisha kwa FRA pali 150 kwacha walabula 1000 ya masaka ya mataba wabika pama FRA trucks ya ku Congo kwa Congo walashisha pali 500 kwacha pe bag wala panga profit your profit realize parapen pampanga yobe wala sana reinvest on that land. You are going to employ even more people there and start growing bigger and better. Anybody who wants to sell their produce, they will sell wherever they want to sell, so that they can bring forex into this country. That is the only way, the sure way of helping Zambian businesses, and not what we are seeing under the new Dawn government. This is why we are talking about empowering the Zambian people to be productive. And you cannot only empower the Zambian people through private sector. You as government, you need to be productive. That's why we are talking about state farms, so that we don't have to worry about the food basket, because we are going to have maize in this country. That's why we are talking about ZNS run mines. Paka kasisi hapa pali mine ya gold. Our running and much Chinese. Mu mountain, we are next to that mountain. There will be ZNS run mine by to produce gold. Kuka senseri konse tulefa tukwate na ifo ubutala ngefine tuwa kwa to ubutala wa nyanje, ubutala wa fintu fyonse futulisa producer mataba under FRI ofo tukwa kwata no ubutala wa ma minerals under Mineral Reserve Agency. Pakwa tinga tuwa start produce tule palika olonga tuwa kwata ubutala obu. We can now go out there as confident Zambians to sell to other countries, and not the way we have given up to foreigners.
So no, now that perspective has been ahead. I'm sure even those who were trying to clarify, they have gotten.
Maybe before we move away from the issues to do with mines, he's spoken so elaborately about it. Let's pick this, then I'll ask him a question. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
I'm quite much weekend.
Twabuka fe wino.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. He says, run about body, but they are able to understand what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense. But then again, my question, Patrick, before we move away from the issues to do with mining, he elaborated so much on it, but before we move away from it,
exactly,
there's a lot of illegalities in the mining sector.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Sujolite issue. Let's talk about the Jerabos in the Copper Belt. Let's talk about the guys in Central Province, that's Mumbwa. There's a recent accusation against the First Lady, Mutinta Hichilema, that she is involved in this. What is happening?
We saw the firing of the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Mines, yesterday.
What does it mean insofar as our laws regarding mining are concerned? Because for me, I think we're neither here nor there. That's why all these things are happening.
Yes, again, because we have many people speaking in Bemba, let me just convert to Bemba speaking.
No, please, English. All right. I blame that man.
Because I want them to clearly understand me. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do as leadership movement, and we have been clear about this, the issue of illegal mining is a colonial law. Before 1890, we used to mine. People in Kaflafutan, Bwana Mkuba used to pick stones that are rich in copper. They smelt them, they make copper bangles, they make copper plates. People in Northern Province, they used to smelt iron-rich ore. Stones that are rich in iron, they smelt them, they make steel and out of that steel they make axes, they make hoes for cultivation, they make spears. All these things, we used to do them. We used to be productive. Until the BSA company connived with the British government to ban any blacksmith, any mining in Zambia, 1890. So this illegal law that says, oh, there is illegal mining. Imagine if the BSA company was interested in agriculture, they would have banned agriculture. Today we would be saying, oh, illegal farmers, if you are found farming at your own yard, they will arrest you. That is illegal. You need to have a license for you to farm. But they were interested in minerals. That's why they said illegal mining. We are going to get rid of this colonial law called illegal mining. If you have a piece of land and there is manganese there, simply dig manganese and bring to Mineral Reserve Agency and sell. And if you are interested in selling out there, you can say whatever you want to sell.
But
that is production.
That's a recipe for confusion because even under agriculture, the farmers under the Farmers Input Support Program, they are coordinated and organized. If you let it loose, don't you think it could also bleed insurgency? Because like we have seen in other countries where they will know that the farm has oil, so let's do whatever we can to get that.
Let me just clarify
a systematic and coordinated way of doing mining.
No, that's why we have government. That's why we have government. Have you ever seen any problems with farming? You can have even a small place, 10 by 10, you can produce maize. No one is going to arrest you. How is confusion happening in farming? There is no, all these cooperatives, we don't even need them. Why do you need the cooperatives? They are just there as a conduit for getting support, FISIP. In terms of farming, you can farm. There is no confusion. Each person has got a land where he can farm. This is why we are talking about title deeds. When we are talking about title deeds, it's because we want to get rid of that so-called confusion. We want a Zambian to own his land. When people have title deeds, they can do whatever they want with their land. You can farm on your land, you can mine on your land. There is no problem. Unless you are saying everyone should go to KCM and do mining, then you have confusion. But that's not our message. Our message is any Zambian who has a piece of land, if there are minerals there, where you stay, you can simply dig your minerals and you can bring them to Mineral Reserve Agency and there will be no confusion.
Are you telling us we're going to mine, Dr. Silumbe, without taking good mining practices such as mining safety? Because we are seeing we are seeing calamities happening in the mining sector because of this uncoordinated approach which we are witnessing at the moment. Are you going to be a government of no laws?
Maybe we
Let me tell you this. That is what we are talking about. That's where we are going with the Mineral Reserve Agency. You know, what is happening in the agriculture sector? There are disasters. For instance, armyworms who strike. We send the DACO, district agriculture officers, and they help farmers. Exactly. They teach them better practices, and we thrive like that. The same will happen with mining. We are going to send experts, they are metallurgists in every district to help miners, Jerabos who want to mine, to get those practices, how to deal with safety and all that. Even support, we are going to even support them with mining equipments, mining safety measures and all that. But at the moment, we know that any person can do mining. When we talk about mining with picks and shovels, many people are saying, it's impossible, you can't mine, you need machinery. But we know that machinery came just recently, way before we started mining.
All right,
and let me just finish this one because it's very important. Yes, we need Zambians to know that they need to take care of their own welfare, including mining. What we are seeing today is a disaster. We should not be so colonized to believe that we cannot mine. Zambians should not participate in minerals, and yet we are allowing foreigners to take up our minerals. What is bad is a situation where you have few people privileged in government, in UPND, who are doing mining, and they are using picks and shovels, and they are stopping others, stopping Jerabos from doing it. But them, they are doing it. That's the problem. But I have no problem with Mutinta participating in mining. I have no problem with a UPND cadre participating in mining. I have no problem with anybody, even a PF, even a leadership movement person, because these are Zambian minerals. We Zambians must participate in mining. End of story.
Okay, great. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning,
Mashuken. Tumatola question no komle ntumina mkwai. Kasumbalesa. Okay, and your name? Okay.
Interesting
views there from Kasumbalesa. We're very excited to get calls from across the country, and you too can have your say on this conversation. This is your platform, and remember, when you speak through us here, it goes directly to the authority. They are listening.
So you've heard the concern there is that companies are doing both wholesaling and retailing, big companies, and now it is affecting the business of small scale business.
That thing is also
it is the same even in the CBD. These companies that are big, even the Chinese shops, they are doing both wholesaling and retailing. So those who are ordering from them are not having business because people are just going directly to the wholesale, and that is affecting their business. So Dr. Sulumbe, you can attend to that concern and also give us your perspective on the issue of corruption. The new Dawn government will be fighting corruption within 90 days. If a court case goes to court, it will be addressed within 90 days. That is according to President Hichilema Majuninga's address to the National Assembly.
So now we have been hearing all these things from the New Dawn government. The New Dawn government is all talk, no action. That's who they are. They promise empty promises. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. These people are now almost 2 years. We are talking about the fight against corruption. Those are jokes. To us, leadership movement believes that the New Dawn government are just joking to the Zambian people, because you cannot have people who are caught with bags of money and you let them free. You have so much evidence on corruption. All of them are still moving around. They are free. They are even bragging, boasting. And today they want to tell us that, oh, we have to believe in them. They are fighting corruption. They are sending a bad message out there. This is why the New Dawn government itself will be more corrupt than the PF government, because they've seen that there's nothing going on. And we are going to see more ministers getting into corruption. We as leadership movement have been clear. Corruption will be non-bearable. Corruption will be 37 years imprisonment. Why do we want to do this? It's deterrence. We want a person to be scared of corruption, because what awaits them is a total destruction of their lives. This is how developed countries have dealt with the issue of securing government resources. This is why when you go to China, corruption is life imprisonment. You go to Taiwan, you go to Singapore, corruption is non-bearable, is life imprisonment. So we are joking here with all the corrupt people around. Someone is corrupt, they just fire them. Someone is corrupt in State House, they just take them to another office, to another portfolio. They are jokers. This is joking. You wait until you see the leadership movement government. That's when you're going to see the fight against corruption. Because starting from the smallest civil servant to the highest politician in State House, they'll be scared of government money. Nobody will be able to pocket even 100 kwacha or 1 kwacha, because they know Zambia's coffers are like Umuseke, where it's all perforated around and you are pouring water and you think you want to make it full and it's leaking everywhere. That's who our government is today. And money is being pocketed around. Nothing can work. This is why you are seeing now government surrendering even infrastructure that should be run by government to foreigners and to private sectors. So we need to ensure that we curtail corruption we make sure that Zambians are really taken care by ensuring that government coffers are secured and they are used only for productive programs, and we are progressing as a country, because that's the only route to success as a country.
Interesting conversation we're having here, Pachi, but we want to go about 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Maybe we can fuse in 2 or 3 questions. Hopefully he's brief enough to respond to the second.
So overall, we just wanted to think, to give us your perspective on Zambia's moral and application of morals and principles aspect. On the leadership movement perspective, what do you think should be?
So I heard the president saying, he talked about very important things. He talked about marriages, strong marriages. We need strong marriages. That is very important. But that cannot be achieved under the circumstances in which he's running a country. When you are talking about marriages, you need to have a thriving economy. Abantu balechula, people can't find jobs. Abana, young people used to have to marry at 20 years, 24 years, early in the 90s, when we were productive, jobs were around, people could get jobs, government was participating in production, and people were housed. They cannot manage to actually support themselves economically. That's why there are no marriages. Breakups are everywhere, rampant, because the economy is really erring. The economy is sick. We need to rejuvenate the Zambian spirit. That is why, as leadership movement, tulefanga twaisa mu buteko umuntu wonse akwate fya kuchita, whether walisambira na mtawasambira panti twalishobokola tu umuntu wonse alikwate talanta. That's why tulefaira nga twaingishe miseperations, twasenda maka ya misepera, twashipere fya kuchita under ZNS, whether nga walikwate talanta lya kubasembao ukalisange nchito under ZNS, nga walikwate talanta lya kubike njerwa ili akukula no bricklayer ukaisange nchito tatu wakakuipusha tawe certificate yobe ili kuisa, because we know that you have something to contribute to the development of this country. That's why we are urging the new Dawn government to rethink, to change the mindset, because hii mindset ya kwata abana bakwa bali bonse, colonial mindset, always thinking that only foreigners can develop Mother Zambia. Colonial mentality that thinks that only foreigners and foreign things are better than Zambian things is what we are fighting against as leadership movement. To feel twice we can do something. We can participate in developing this country, contrary to giving up everything. Kopa tuapela ba mwisa, fionzi tuapela ba mwisa. Ifo pamunga ba leadership movement tuyando kwati nga tulefwayo kopa Yesu tule imbira fwebene. Umukuba wesu nga ni gold, manganese. We participate under ZNS landmines. And ababa antobo tulefo okuingisha imisepera shakwate fya kuchita shaba productive. That's the only way you can develop this country. Ngana bekala fya abantu na government ni bana mwerepete fionze fire afe pantanshi ubunga bule ya pantanshi fionze fire ya pantanshi tapai nofu benga chitapa valero reshafe. There is no way you can run a country like this. That's why people are getting frustrated. That's why miseparative open okupa abantu balechura. There can never be values in a country that is wrecked with economic disasters. How can there be values? Because people are turning into criminality. So you cannot be a president of this country talking about the progress you have made in sustaining values when there is poverty everywhere. Things are skyrocketing and the economy is in free fall. So this is the problem that we have.
We thank God, Patrick, he got married early before the cost of living became high.
That was among the lucky ones.
You were among the lucky ones. Even Elijah was the last one, I think. Before things got worse. You were about to say something.
Yeah, this is where we call it a day. And Dr. Slumbe would like to thank you for finding time to be with us, to help us discuss this topical issue pertaining to the application of values and principles following President Hakainde Hichilema's State of the Nation address at the National Assembly on Friday last week. And we'll continue to call on you if a need arises to help us discuss various national matters. And you can pick it
Indeed,
up.
Patrick, I think today was not even enough.
Exactly,
I feel
it was not enough.
We haven't really exhausted what we wanted to exhaust with him. He spoke so well, and we are grateful that you made it even after calling you on short notice. We hope that you continue with that, even when you're given the mandate by the Zambian people. You will continue to pick our cause.
Thank you very much.
Interesting. Well, dear viewers, this is when we have to excuse the screens until tomorrow when we come with another interesting episode of the Camnet Breakfast Show, Governance, Politics and Policy, with me, Patrick Soko, and Shalon Kalimbola. Keep it on Camnet TV. Remember, Camnet TV
is not just another channel. Thanks for watching.